chance of marrying Luffy, we've got Nefertari Vivi. Vivi will always be grateful to Luffy for saving Alabasta, but more than that, she grew so close to him and the Straw Hats that she almost gave up being a princess to sail with them. She loved his carefree attitude, but worried about his recklessness. She also had complete trust in him and his strength, even though he literally punched her in the face. Luffy also cared a lot about Vivi, like he was determined to defeat Crocodile for her and literally raged when Crocodile mocked her. And by the end of Alabasta, he begged her to join the crew, but she stayed behind out of her duty as a princess. And that goodbye hit Luffy hard, but the crew made sure she knew she was still one of them, flashing their X marks before leaving Vivi in tears of happiness. Even after years apart, Luffy still cares deeply about her. Like when he found out about Cobra's murder and Vivi's disappearance, he was ready to storm Mariajois and declare war on the world government, Marines, and the world nobles just to make sure she was safe. The only reason he didn't was because Zoro reminded him that Vivi is strong enough to handle herself. So that said, with that level of loyalty, trust, and unbreakable bond, Vivi's got one of the highest chances of marrying Luffy with 80%. Now, we've got Nami with a 95% chance of marrying Luffy. These two have literally been through everything together. From Luffy placing his hat on her head before fighting Arlong to free her from his tyranny, to carrying her up a mountain in a blizzard to find a doctor. And Nami? Well, she yells at him, slaps him, and even locks him in a cage. Wait, those were the wrong moments. I wanted to talk about when Luffy arrived on Zou, and Nami immediately ran up and hugged him, crying that Sanji left the crew, which clearly showed that Luffy is the one person she can always turn to and rely on. They have complete trust in each other. Nami never doubts his strength, and Luffy never doubts her navigation skills. But well, the real reason Nami's got a 95% chance of marrying Luffy is quite simple, really. Their dreams align perfectly. Yeah, Nami wants to map the entire world, and Luffy, well, even when he becomes the king of the pirates, he will want to keep sailing the seas for the rest of his life, continuing to feel free. So Nami will stay by his side until the end. Someone with even more than 95% chance of marrying Luffy, at 99%, well, it's of course Boa Hancock. This isn't a shocker, right? Because we all know that Hancock loves Luffy and wants nothing more than to be his wife. But they started off as enemies, with Hancock wanting him dead after he accidentally saw her naked and saw her slave mark. But when he protected her sister's mark during their fight, everything changed. Because she was shocked by Luffy's selflessness and his pure heart, and she fell madly in love with him. Since then, she's risked everything for him, like helping him sneak into Impel Down and protecting him at Marineford, jeopardizing her position as a warlord. But she did all this because she wanted to, as she's completely obsessed with him, blushing when hearing his name and literally daydreaming of marrying him. And Luffy? Well, he likes Hancock a lot. He deeply appreciates everything she's done for him, like giving him the key to Ace's chains at Marineford to free him. But the best thing she did for him? Yeah, that was giving him a mountain of meat. Like anyone who gives Luffy this amount of meat has a very high chance of marrying him. Now we've actually got someone, or well, something left, who's actually got 100% chance of marrying Luffy. Well, Luffy may never marry anyone, but if he could marry meat, he absolutely would. So meat is of course at 100%. Luffy is obsessed with meat, literally daydreaming about it as he loves meat more than anything in the world.